The Lions are close, right? They're getting there. They have talent. They've made some moves not only in free agency, but in the draft. Their draft was very eventful. A lot of curveballs, a lot of things we didn't expect. Jahmyr Gibbs at 12 after a trade down from 6. Jack Campbell at 18. And then somehow Brian Branch fell to them at 45. I think a good way to look at it is if you take the entirety of their class and say, okay, maybe you got Brian Branch a little bit early at 12. Jahmyr Gibbs at 18 or 45, Jack Campbell at 18 or 45. That's a good haul. Those are good players. I think people are just upset about the order in which they took those players, and that's understandable with the perceived value of running back and linebacker. However, those are good players, and they have starters right away. Jack Campbell's going to start pretty much right away, I would bet. You have Malcolm Rodriguez, who's good at linebacker. Jahmyr Gibbs is a really nice Thunder and Lightning combo to David Montgomery. You might even try him a little bit at receiver, which we'll see how that works. I kind of doubt that. And then Jack Campbell and Brian Branch, starters on defense. So it's an interesting class. I like it. Hendon Hooker has potential for a round 3 quarterback. I think they got Broderick Martin, a nose tackle in the 3rd round as well. We're going to hop in, try to rebuild this team. The only thing I will say is the Jared Goff situation is a situation. I know he was good last year. Does he leave some yards on the field sometimes? Yes, but he was at least good last year. Now, the big problem you have is contract related. His cap hit is nearly $31 million in 2023 and over $31 million in 2024. Now, the dead cap is only $15 million in 2023, which isn't awful for a huge contract, but you're going to keep him for 2023, obviously. But it's only $5 million in 2024 if you were to cut or trade him, but cut him probably. And then he's a free agent in 2025. So are you prepared to offer Jared Goff a big contract extension to keep him in Detroit? Or are you going to look to go a different direction? Maybe it's Hendon Hooker. Maybe it's a quarterback in the draft. But they were up at 6 in the draft only because of the Rams. And the NFC North has gotten worse. So are you going to be picking that high again? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Is Laporta banned? What are they banning with Laporta? Laporta potty? Because he's shit? Nah, he's not. Sam Laporta, I didn't even talk about, by the way, was the 34th pick in the draft, I want to say. Maybe 35. He was at the very top of the 2nd round either way. Was really good at Iowa. A stat that I pull out about Sam Laporta is I think he broke over 20 tackles in his career at Iowa, which is extremely impressive for a tight end. Forcing that many missed tackles is kind of insane. And Laporta is banned. Can we do El Porta? We can, but Sam Laporta is somebody that has instant starter potential. You traded away TJ Hawkinson, drafted Laporta at the top of the 2nd. He could be somebody that competes for a starting job and maybe even wins it right away. Of course, Hendon Hooker would be banned because I don't know if you guys know about hookers and blow. No, that's those are linked though. Hendon Hooker, actually in more ways than one. Hendon Hooker, I don't even know what we can do for a last name. I don't know how we can get away with this. Hendon Hookie. I'm going to give Jahmyr Gibbs star development. I think he was superstar in my draft class, but I think star is a little bit more conservative. He is a top player in the draft, in my opinion. I think he's a really, really talented player. Saw it firsthand at the Texas-Alabama game. He had a huge receiving touchdown and a couple of nice runs. Really, really good player regardless. Georgia Tech transferred to Alabama. Was fantastic in the SEC. I think he actually led Alabama in receiving yards last year. Really, really good player. That's the thing. Like, yes, he is a running back, but you got a really good player in the 1st round. So I really don't hate it that much. It was a little bit early for him maybe, but you get the 5th-year option. You get him for their prime. Like, 5 years of team control, essentially, is pretty good. And for a running back, maybe you don't give them that 2nd contract the way they did with David Montgomery. But getting a guaranteed 5-year stretch for a running back at the prime of their career, that's not a bad idea in my opinion. Maybe it's a little early to do so, but he might have been gone by the time he got to 18 or beyond, and then you couldn't get Jack Campbell. So beyond the draft strategy, I do think they got a good player. Jack Campbell's a fantastic athlete. Kind of think of somebody within the Tremaine Edmonds mold. 6'5", 250, moves really, really well. He's going to be a starting Mike linebacker right away. I think. And then the big one for me is Brian Branch. I've moved him to corner in this this roster. I downloaded it from the file share. The roster's terrible. The ratings are awful. Like, you'll see players who are fast with like 80 speed. Like, quarterbacks will have like 80 arm strength, but 95 awareness to bring their overall up. Like, the laziest roster you could have made. Like, congratulations, you changed the names and input the college. But throwing out some of those ratings is horrific. I'm going to give Brian Branch star development. He had like tackle in the 60s, which is insane considering he does not miss tackles if you watch him at Alabama. Doesn't miss them. He's pretty incredible. Now, he is a slot corner. So, we probably think more safety with Brian Branch, but he has fairly limited experience playing over the top. We have Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a year. Like, there's a chance Brian Branch moves back at some point for me in this rebuild, but he's going to play corner for us initially. He's not really an outside guy, but I'm going to play him at CB2 for right now. Lions signed Cam Sutton, have Emmanuel Mosley, also via free agency for a year. Branch is going to be our starting slot corner and CB2. Jack Campbell, sub linebacker. We have Ali McNeil, Levi Onwuzurike, if you could stay healthy at defensive tackle. Aiden Hutchinson, Romeo Okwara off the edge. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, in the slot. Third down running back is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. Want to develop him at least a little bit. And let's go ahead and simulate this first year. Of course, we're treating 2023 like 2024. And let's just, or excuse me, 2022 like 2023. And then the next draft will be 2023, even though it's the 2024 draft. And I do want to set my scouts. Quarterback's a position I'm going to look at. Just plain and simple. We had an offensive lineman named Tim Nails in the class. I'm in. He's tough as nails. That's a player we want on our team. Oh, Jack Campbell got a breakout? He had a challenge to get 2 TFLs or sacks combined. And the way he's talking, it sounds like he did something good. 10,000 XP. It's a really good start for us in Lions franchise. A little throwback to, what was it, Madden? Was it Madden 22? I had Lions franchise last year? Yeah. Is Madden 23? Yeah. Legendary series on the channel, thanks to you guys. Well, if Jack Campbell gets 3, he's going to be maybe a superstar dev player. Probably not going to happen, but it could. Seems like Jack Campbell is not going to get that upgrade. All right. Only 2 and 4 at the midseason mark. Not exactly going that well for us here. And not a whole lot of guys I want to re-sign. I do have to change Broderick Martin's contract to be 4 years instead of 1. I guess I forgot about him. James Houston. Is his contract already up? It really shouldn't be, right? Because he wasn't a UDFA. He was a 7th round pick, I thought. Which means he should have had like just a base 4-year contract, probably. I'm just going to give him 4 years now and extend him for a while. He wants more money. He's a nice rotational player. I don't think you're going to find more than 4 mil per year in free agency. That's just not going to happen. Does the Money Badger want to be back? It's a big contract for him. The Money Badger returns. Love the look of Christian Winston. He's both not a good athlete at all and not that good of a thrower at 5'11", 230. Where do I sign up? There are a bunch of interesting players in this class. Like Tavon Franklin, I'm not sure we exactly need a receiver. It could happen. He doesn't look amazing at first glance, but these are kind of the guys that fly under the radar. And the Texans are apparently very interested. Here is what I'm talking about. They're in there twice. Top fit, Falcons, Texans, and did we also mention the Texans? They're going to draft them apparently. I guess it just means they have multiple first rounders. Which they would. The one quarterback I was kind of interested in is a top 5 projected player with a round 2 to 3 true talent grade. Not great. There are some interesting players in this class though. I don't know. I don't really have a plan at the moment. Like obviously there are positions we need to upgrade. Interior, I'll just say defensive line in general. The offensive line is pretty good. Quarterback, I could consider drafting a receiver. But we have Jamison Williams, who I like, of course, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Running back, we're set. I like the offense for the most part. And then defensively, just we got to move some things around for sure. for sure. And even the defense is not set up that well. Looks like a 3-4, but Aiden Hutchinson is not a 3-4 end. Neither is Romeo Aquara. Malcolm Rodriguez is not a 3-4 outside linebacker. He is a 4-3 outside linebacker. He's an off-ball player. So it doesn't really look like it fits here. Unless this particular scheme is set up in such a way that... No, it's not. It's 3-4. Why? Why are the players at the wrong spots? I don't know. Look at the NFC North. 8-9, 8-9, 8-9. 6-11 for the Vikings. It could finish something like that in terms of total wins for the division. Wouldn't be entirely surprising. But is that the order? That remains to be seen. Jared Goff threw for about 4,500 yards, only 25 touchdowns and 11 picks. A good season, I guess. Not terrible. But in Madden, it could be better. David Montgomery was good, but oh my goodness. You never see RB2 be any bit productive in simulation, or at least in terms of yards per carry. But Jahmyr Gibbs was at 4.5, which you don't even see from any like non-90 overall running back. Maybe the fact that he was a third down running back only, I don't know. But either way, he was quite good as a rookie and might have been productive as a receiver as well. Had 347 yards, no touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, really good season. Marvin Jones, I wish wasn't as productive as Jameson Williams because we want to develop JMO. Sam Laporta, very good season. 9 touchdowns and a lot of production as a rookie overall. Defensively, Jack Campbell, 147 tackles, 11 for loss, 4 sacks, and a pick. That's like defensive rookie of the year type stuff. But Aiden Hutchinson, who's also technically a rookie in the game, 23 tackles for loss, absurd, 7 sacks, 20 tackles for loss for Lee McNeil. Our defensive line is they're doing stuff, but we need to be more productive in terms of the pass rush, getting after the quarterback, finishing the job. 6 picks for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, or CJ Gardner-Johnson. Too many names. I've talked about this before. I get confused. So unfortunately, no playoffs, but that's okay. Because, you know, we won 8 games. We don't deserve to make the playoffs like the Packers did with 8 wins. We're going to win the division next year, I hope. Whether it's with Jared Goff or somebody else. It probably will be Jared Goff. I'm not going to completely discount the possibility of signing a quarterback, not this year in free agency, but next year. Because you get some pretty good ones that can pop up from time to time. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert. Those are kind of like the big 2. Lamar Jackson, maybe, but he signed an extension in real life, so he hopefully has been accounted for, and that won't be available. As Dak Prescott wins league MVP and Super Bowl MVP and wins the Super Bowl. Okay, Steelers had rookies of the year, George Pickens, Keanu Benton, despite being rookies in different draft classes. That's just how good the Steelers are, apparently. This is so close to Matt McClain, Reds superstar rookie. If you guys aren't watching Reds franchise on my second channel, I think you're missing out. Check it out. Link, as always, is in the description. I've been uploading a Reds franchise series with young superstars like Ellie De La Cruz featured as well. Just drafted a generational player in that series as well, so things are looking up for us. Okay, so we have finally made it to the draft. I feel like there's been a lot of buildup, and the draft prospects to me, I've said interesting quite a bit. I don't know. I feel like I don't really know what direction I want to take this draft. We need edge rusher, I think. There really aren't any good interior defensive linemen. Corner is something I would consider. I didn't mean to do Blake Murray. I think I wanted to do... Nah, I did, actually. No, that's fine. Angelo Haynes is an option. Some of these guys are just not as good as I was hoping for. But the top guy is actually probably a corner, because we know he's going to have a good development trait. Anytime you see a 6'4" corner in the class, or 6'4" like corner, maybe even 6'3", they're like guaranteed hidden development. And to have B man coverage, B press, C zone coverage, and be a very good athlete, great speed, elite acceleration, like he's going to be a really, really good player. Guaranteed. And then we would have our cornerback group kind of solidified. Now, the last time the Lions took a cornerback high in the draft, it didn't work out that well. Punter, I'm probably going to draft as well. Found a decent one. I don't know. I really don't know what direction I should take this draft. I have a couple players who are good athletes, like Angelo Haynes, but block shed's not great. Tackling is just about average. I kind of want to trade up for Casey Ellerby, If he's available at like 7, maybe I would. But I can't really go a whole lot higher than that. And he could go higher than that. I didn't check out the mock draft at all, so I don't really have any idea where these players are expected to go. A lot of edge rushers off the board and defensive linemen immediately. Like, is that 6 straight front 7 players? I think it might be. He's made it to 7, the corner I was talking about. Let's try number 8. All right, he's available at 8. That's a decent spot. We pick at 14. Should not be all that difficult to move up a couple of spots. I know corner doesn't seem to be a huge need for us because Brian Branch is good, but Emmanuel Mosley's on a short-term deal. Cam Sutton's 28, and Mosley's 27. Will Harris is not it, and he's really more of a safety anyway. We have safeties. Kirby Joseph's going to be a starter. Tracy Walker's probably going to be gone. I'm going to hold on to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, of course. So corner kind of is a need. I'm going to change around the defense. Edge is a need, but it's maybe something we could trade up for. But as far as like 6'4" corners go, who are really good athletes, those players do not come around very often. So we're going to go ahead and try to strike while the iron is hot and get one while we can. I'm throwing Atlanta a 3rd round pick to move up a couple of spots from 14 to 8. And we're going to be going ahead and taking that corner. Now, there are a couple of edge rushers that might be available closer to the end of the 1st round. Right? Devontae Weston is one of them, who's going to go probably a little bit earlier, who is good, but I don't know if they're great. Like, the combination of A, finesse moves, and C, block shed is something you see pretty often. I don't know that he's going to be that amazing. Tavon Franklin, I like, but isn't, like, anything crazy. We could take an offensive lineman, but Angelo Haynes at the end of the 1st round could be worth trading up for. Another corner that could be pretty good, but obviously we're not going to go that way. Could take a receiver, Brandon McKinney, a deep threat. Kind of be a nice combination with Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. But it's really Angelo Haynes or bust if we're taking an edge. All right, Casey Ellerby, 6'4", 185 from The Ohio State University. Good man coverage, good press. Obviously, freak athlete when you factor in the 6'4" size, elite acceleration. Welcome to Detroit. It's like guaranteed hidden development. It's like shooting fish in a barrel or fishing with dynamite. Maybe that's 2 expressions that mean the same thing. I don't know. 95 acceleration, 94 speed, 88 agility and change of direction with 89 jumping. He is so bald for a rookie, but you know what? That kind of, I think, speaks to his maturity, and that's a solid pickup for us. Angelo Haynes is still there at 22. We pick again at number 14 in the 2nd round, and that is a potential trade up for us. A couple of centers there. Haynes is not expected to go for about 10 picks, but I really don't think we can take a ton of value in that. So it might just be... Now is not an awful idea. I don't know why the Bengals logo is like higher than the rest of them in small. Do you see that? Or maybe is it just always the next pick or the 3rd pick is small and high for some reason? I don't know. Seems weird. The Commanders could be a team we trade with. Let's try to move up. So it's going to be number 46 and our 2nd, 3rd round pick to move up to 25. I think it's going to be worth it because we're going to get a developmental edge rusher. At least that's the plan. We traded up to draft this guy. I think that's what we have to do. He's probably going to be like a 73 overall, but he's only 21 years old. A, finesse move, C, block shed, C, tackle. Pretty good. Very good athlete. Elite acceleration, change of direction, great speed. That's what we're banking on. With A, finesse moves, I think that's a good combination for us. And welcome to Detroit, Angelo Haynes. We got star, better development. Always nice. 85 speed, 90 acceleration. Very, very nice. So, I don't know if he's going to start right away, but definitely a nice developmental piece to add nonetheless. We're to round 4. This round 3 to 4 talent quarterback is still available. He's got elite throw power. That's kind of it. Accuracy is not terrible. I know we have Hendon Hooker, but this is just the best player we can take at this spot, probably. Backup QB, got a cannon. Was hoping for star better development. Why can I say development? Star better development. Hoping for one of those. Star or better. But he went to Rutgers, so I probably should have known better. And then in round 5, I'm going to, I think, draft a punter. He's got A, kick accuracy, B, awareness. Solid kick power is decent enough. Usually it's a lot worse. He's got normal dev, but 91 kick power and good accuracy. And that's just to make sure that I don't lose a punter over the course of this rebuild. Guaranteed 4-year contract for him. It's something I just don't have to worry about now. This draft recap is going to be very interesting. I am pleasantly surprised. Angelo Haynes is a 75. That's a little bit higher than I thought it would be. Casey Ellerby is a 77. It's a really nice player to get. 6'4", 185. Zone coverage isn't great. Tackling isn't great. But everything else looks pretty good or very good. Like that. Angelo Haynes, he is 270 pounds, or just about 82 finesse moves out of the draft is amazing. Swim move, high motor. All right. 68 overall on the quarterback. 72 on the punter, though. That's pretty good. There are a lot of players I couldn't really figure out in this class, though. I'm curious what they are looking like. We did get the best overall player in the class. There were 3 77s. I knew Esteban Hernandez looked good, the running back, but we were never going to take him. Didn't really see Dom Davis. But Ellerby, 77. That's pretty nice. Ridley, who I looked at, is a 76. And there were quite a few 76 overall players in this. Yeah, I think we did quite well. Elijah Ziegler actually didn't look amazing, but went number 1 overall and was a 76, which I guess is pretty good. Haynes, 75 at 25. I think I'd probably prefer that. You know, I didn't notice it, but Jack Campbell now has superstar development. That's not too bad. What did he get it for? Just because. That's my favorite reason. Just because. Felt like it. I like that. And then Chauncey Gardner-Johnson also has it. Now, I was under the impression he signed a 1-year contract, but I guess it is not in the game, so I'll have to fix that, and I'll make him a free agent or a 1-year contract, expiring contract this year for sure. 1 DB of the year. I'll take it. And I will say, this defense fits us so well. We have scheme fits all over the place. We do need a better outside linebacker. Maybe Isaiah Simmons. I know he's moving back to DB, I guess, technically full-time in real life, or that's the rumor anyway. But if he's going to move back to DB, he's going to be a strong safety, and he's best in the box. So, is he not just a linebacker almost? He's got to be in that Cam Chancellor role. But they don't run that defense, so I don't know. Now, Quara kind of becomes the odd man out here. 28 years old, star dev. There is some value there. But I don't really think that we're going to be able to get a whole lot for him. And then Charles Harris, we can just keep his depth. That's fine. Now, I got trade offers for Romeo Okwara and a 2nd-round pick. And the Ravens are offering us Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Patrick Queen is kind of like up and down in real life quite a bit. But I think playing outside linebacker, or will for us, weak side linebacker, it's going to be a really nice role for him. Doesn't have to be the mic. A little bit of pressure off, and of course, different role. And I think this is going to be a really nice pickup. He's going to slide over to left outside linebacker. And suddenly, our linebacking core looks pretty good. So the D-line's going to remain a need for us. But that's okay. It looks pretty good right now. I've changed to Dallas offense and Dallas defense. So see what that looks like. As far as the specialists go, this is what I want. Branch. Haynes is going to be a rush D tackle? No, he's not. That's not true. He's going to be a rush end for us. I don't know. Why would they think Alex Anzalone is a good fit there? Lee McNeil, +3 power and finesse moves. We'll take that in training camp. Lee McNeil? Really? He had 2 tackles for loss or sacks in the same game? Is it glitched? There's no way these guys are doing this. He's surely not going to get 3. That was what tripped up Jack Campbell as well, right? It was Jack Campbell. 0-2. Not great. And we got a lot of points scored on us. It's the Eagles, though. The Eagles are good. And, yeah, Lee McNeil not taking the next step, of course. Okay, 4-3. We are doing better after an 0-2 start. Packers 0-7. Tough. Very interesting top of the draft. We have an outside linebacker who looks quite good. Pass rusher. Got a tight end at 2. Couple of tackles. And he looks like he could be a freak. Carlos Wright could be the one. Even with Drafting Angelo Haynes, having Aiden Hutchinson. Carlos Wright could be the one. The tight end also looks like a freak. I don't know. You guys have seen enough of these to know if I see, like, could be generational type players, whether it makes sense or not, I'm moving up. It'll just, it'll just be the way that it always is. Man, Steve Moore looks real good. F catching traffic, F catching, A deep route running, wow. F release. He is fast. That's his spin move is an F. What type of a first round player is that? I almost want to get him 100% scouted just to see it say like round 4 to 7, day 3. Why does no one want to be here? Okay, well, you chose to sign in Detroit, so close to home. Florida is tough. Patrick Queen, close to home. Yep, Louisiana. They don't want to be in Detroit, Michigan. Nobody wants to be here. I offered Patrick Queen a contract with like 10 mil AAV. And he's like, nah. I can't offer him more than that. This Chauncey Gardner-Johnson contract is ridiculously large. He returns. We just have to keep our good players if we're going to be good. So overpaying sometimes is just what you have to do. Jonah Jackson wants even more money. This is tough. Upping the money on Jonah Jackson. This should be, yes, accepted. Patrick Queen's going to be the tough one. Because he's an outside linebacker. We have to pay him more. I don't want to do. But I'll up it slightly. He's still only 25. He's going to get franchise tag probably is what's going to happen. And we do actually sneak into the playoffs. We won in the division 9-8. Pretty good. Joe Burrow is just putting up ridiculous numbers as he does in simulation. Although, Jared Goff with an incredible season. 4,900 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, 11 picks, rushing. Montgomery read at that 4 yards per carry number, but 20 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs did what he had to do. Pretty good. And obviously, when you have a quarterback that throws for about 5,000 yards, the receiving numbers are going to be ridiculous. Amon-Ra St. Brown, incredible season. Marvin Jones, blast from the pass, 13 touchdowns, over 1,100 yards. It's got to be a career best, although he did have a ton of touchdowns one season. I don't think it was 13, though. It might have been like 9 or 10, which I guess, is that a ton? That's a decent amount for Marvin Jones. Jameson Williams was really good, too. Sam Laporta with a really great season. We were throwing the ball a lot, and it was working out for us. Jack Campbell, no sacks, but 4 picks, 5 for Patrick Queen. 143 and 133 tackles for each, respectively. Tackles for loss. Doesn't look like we had a whole lot of pressure at all. Oh, my goodness. 19 TFLs for McNeil, 15 for Onwuzurike, 14 for Hutchinson and Queen. Had 10 sacks. Lee McNeil led with 4. That is the lowest number I've probably ever seen. 3.5 for Hutchinson, 2.5 for Haynes, 1 for Onwuzurike. We barely had 10 sacks as a team. We did have so many interceptions, though. But I don't know if I like that. Where did we rank in terms of defensive yards? 18th. Maybe Dallas defense is not the wave, but they're always so successful. So how do I not do it? Yeah, defense was bad. Offense was pretty good. We, I think, are going to change the defensive playbook after this season. Maybe, classic Buffalo or KC or something like that. What is Casey Ellerby's dev trait, by the way? Is it superstar? It's only star. A little bit unfortunate, but it's still, it's fine. It's better than normal, tell you that much. +3 zone coverage. And Haynes has star dev as well, so not as good as it could be. Malcolm Rodriguez has star. I think he had star. Maybe he didn't. See if we can beat the Commanders here. They're a tough team in simulation sometimes, but we do advance. 28-25. And here is the team that we're using their playbooks, the Dallas Cowboys, and they have a better overall than we have. I don't love that matchup, I'm going to be honest. I don't like our odds. Hey, we'll see if we can beat the Dallas Cowboys and advance to the conference championship. We don't. Lose by a touchdown. That was a tough matchup for us. I think the Cowboys are just a year ahead of us, really. We're an 83 overall. We just need another year of development and acquisitions, and I think we're going to be capable of winning that game. And the Cowboys beat the Broncos in Super Bowl 58. Josh Allen wins MVP of the league. Rams rookie quarterback winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Giants rookie safety wins winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Patrick Queen's up to Superstar Dev as well. Well, now we absolutely have to bring him back. All the rest are just, like, depth players. So, Charles Harris, I don't really want to give him all that money, to be honest. I'll take it down a little bit. If he doesn't sign, he doesn't sign. Whatever. Don't care. We're going to up the money on Patrick Queen, lower the years. He's going to test free agency, but no, he's not, because I'm going to franchise tag him. It's a ridiculously high franchise tag, but we have the money, so it doesn't really matter. Still $70 million in available salary cap, even after a $25 million franchise tag. I'm going to avoid paying Nick Bosa as good as he is. Justin Herbert is here. That would obviously be quite a nice addition for us, but very, very expensive. And I think the biggest thing is he doesn't want to be here. If he wanted to be here, I think I would offer, but it's just not going to work out. I've offered on Gabe Davis. I think it'd be a nice pickup for us, to be honest. And then we'd have like kind of 3 different type of receivers on our team, which would be nice. Running back, obviously not a need. We're going to look to save a little bit of money. I know Justin Herbert. That would be huge, but just don't think it's in the cards for us. We did get Gabe Davis. Not bad. Now, you know, you look at our team, we have like a bunch of solid players, yet we don't really have a ton of superstars, unfortunately. Our next step is trying to get those superstars. Goff, he has star dev now. He's 78 overall still. I don't really think he's developing at all. He's not. He's regressing after a career season at 29 years old. Ugh. Very annoying. We need a guard. We could use a guard. Defense looks just solid overall. I need to be a little bit better. We got Jedrick Wills. I just offered a random contract to him. I didn't even think we were going to be in contention for him. But we signed Jedrick Wills. We have the money very easily and very comfortably to do that. It's a little bit weird because he plays tackle, but we're going to move him to guard. As you guys might know, the transition from tackle to guard is a whole lot easier and more doable than guard to tackle. But it's a nice pickup for us. I know he'd be a scheme fit at right tackle, and Sewell could play guard, but I'm going to leave Panay on the outside. Don't want to move him to guard, even though he'd be a really good guard, probably. Offense is that much better now. Defensively, we need a game changer. And I think this, and I know Nick Bosa was in free agency, but I think this player in the draft is going to be a game changer at number 1. Just have to find a way to get to number 1. And because of our successful season, we don't pick until number 25. So it's going to cost at least a first-round pick to move up. Both of these players are top 5 talents. Now, I know we don't need the tight end, but I would like to get the tight end just because he looks so good. Carlos Wright is going to be amazing. Elite speed, elite strength, with A, awareness, B, tackle, B, block shed, play rec, finesse moves. That's great. A, power moves, A, hit power, A, pursuit. I'm not saying this is for sure the second generational edge rusher we've seen in the draft. Of course, you guys probably saw that video, or I guess maybe that's a little bit wrong. You may have seen the video, the draft-only rebuild, and then the follow-up, which is following the career of the best defensive player in NFL history, which is what he turned into. He was only like I think he was 6'4", 230, so really light. Carlos Wright is a bigger guy, 6'6", 252, 22 years old, looks very, very good. Looks to have a bunch of traits. But check out those videos if you hadn't checked them out. Now, the tight end puts me in a tough spot because he's clearly unbelievable. B, catching traffic, A, catching, A, deep route running, A, run blocking. He's got elite speed, which is already awesome. Look at all the A's. A, awareness, carrying, whatever, catching, deep route running, medium route running, run block finesse, short route running, spectacular catch, a bunch of good B's. I want both. And I know we have Sam Laporta, but now we've gone from, you know, clear Lions rebuild to, oh shit, we got some good prospects to go after. And it's so tempting. It's so tempting. Devontae Stanley down the board looks pretty awesome, to be honest, as well. So that's a defensive tackle I want to draft in round 2. We're not going to be able to. I think he moved up the board a lot. I don't know how we're going to do this. Quarterback is still in a tough spot. We don't have a second round pick. I'm going to have to trade 2 first-rounders. Or could I interest you in Eric Walton to sweeten the deal? Maybe. Maybe. 2 first-round picks is enough. 1 this year, 1 next year. I want to draft the tight end. It's just so stupid to do that. But, man, he looks so good. But we're going to be taking Carlos Wright. He's the right pick. From Alabama. He looks like a monster. Welcome to the team. Got hidden dev because, of course, he does. 85 strength, 86 speed, 87 acceleration. He's going to be a monster. I don't know about generational, but it looks good. That's a whole lot of A's. The Packers take the tight end at 2. I was just never going to be able to get in position. We're trading a 2 and a 3. 2 is next year, and Eric Walton, our backup quarterback, for number 26 to draft this defensive tackle. And then we're probably going to try and trade Levi Onwuzurike for a pick next year at some point. But this defensive tackle just looks really good. Devontae Stanley, 6'5", 303. Block shedding's just okay, but B finesse moves, A to B power moves I like a lot. Very good athlete. Instant starter for us, I think, if he didn't have normal development, which of course he does, because that's just what happens to me, I guess. That's... Moment of truth. Draft recap. Show me something in the 80s. 77 for Carlos Wright. It's good. It's just not like otherworldly. 86 speed, 81 power moves, 70 finesse moves, 76 block shedding, 85 strength. Overall might jump up 1 or 2 at defensive end. I need like 83 would have been sweet. Stanley's pretty good, but definitely not an instant starter at 72 overall. Just a little bit disappointed. We got some good players, obviously, but they're not, like, next level the way I wanted or needed. Plus 5 block shedding? Oh, my goodness. That is a huge boost to Angelo Haynes. I don't know how we're going to set up this defense. Obviously, we have, like, 3 edge rushers, which is a bit weird, but we got to do something. Also, this Melvin dude has star better development. Let's go ahead and slide him above. Is it Cornell Powell? Yeah, going to be doing that. You know, Angelo Haynes almost has 80 block shed now with a little bit of morale going on. 78 strength. Is it, like, ridiculous to move him to defensive tackle? He's only 270. So, yeah. But, I mean, I might just do it anyway. And then this way, Carlos Wright can start at defensive end. And we're just looking a little bit better on the defensive line. Sometimes you have to be unorthodox to get the results, and that's what we're going for. And if Angelo Haynes gets 2 combined sacks or TFLs, he's going to go ahead and move up in dev, or actually probably get 10,000 XP, actually, which could happen. Wow, 2-5 at the midseason mark. Our offense is overall pretty awful. Defense is like whatever. We're going to have some big free agents as well, and per usual, they do not want to be here. Amon-Ra St. Brown wants a franchise QB. We don't have one. We're just going to have to give him a massive contract. And he accepts. Penei Sewell wants to win more, and we're not. So that sucks. Patrick Queen actually goes ahead and re-signs mid-season, though, which is a nice change. Jared Goff is in there. He's not developing at all, which is a huge problem for us. If he were into the 80s, you know, we might be in a fine spot. Ali McNeil re-signs. David Montgomery, we could. He's only 27 still. In-game's going to be fine. Taylor Decker, I'd like back in like 2 or 3 years. So that's actually perfect. David Montgomery for 4 years. Awesome. Now, apparently we're a playoff contender. Is that true? It's week 8 and we're 2-5. I don't know how true that is. We're just not getting quarterbacks in the draft. It's a big issue for us. I'm not going to draft another defensive end. We have too many at this point. Could go to a 3-4. That could definitely be a move. But I'm fine in the 4-3. The QBs are just bad. And when Jared Goff is kind of the guy that you're stuck with, as we've seen, we really haven't been as successful as I think we should be. We have miraculously snuck into the playoffs at 8-9 as a wild card team. Man, the NFC is terrible. That is absurd. I guess we were a playoff contender. Our winning percentage is not going to be good, though. Jared Goff, decent enough season. David Montgomery, very consistent. Jahmyr Gibbs is just kind of like the backup. So, he's just not really doing a whole lot. He's getting upgraded as a receiving back as well, so he can never be the guy because the CPU just keeps upgrading catching and short route running. I don't want him to be a receiver. That's kind of a problem. It's just so annoying with the auto upgrades when they only do their top skill. I want a more well-rounded experience, and it just doesn't happen. That's a thing they need to work on for future Maddens. Gabe Davis and Amon-Ra St. Brown were separated by a yard, although St. Brown found the end zone much more. Laporta with a great year, Jamison Williams as well. And then defensively, a ton of tackles, and finally, more production. Hutchinson, 14 TFLs, 16 sacks, 11 for Carlos Wright as a rookie. Angelo Haynes was pretty good, 5 sacks. And then a lot of interceptions. Like, the whole team had 2, it looks like. Ooh, Jared Goff with an upgrade point. I hardly even believe it. He's playing up to an 80 for this playoff run, and hopefully it is a run and not just a game. Not going to jump in yet, but I don't know how I feel about this game against the 13-4 Vikings. Is their record a fluke? Yes, it is. Yes, it was. The Cowboys are 16-1. Have a 90 overall team. We have an 88 overall team. We won half as many games. I'm jumping in. We've got a good team. We're capable of pulling off the upset. Just is their playbook combination to overall just too much? And it might be. Mozzie Smith has superstar X Factor now. It's going to be a tough team to beat. We know that. But we have a good team too. We do. We just got to come out here and do the impossible. Beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. That's never been done before, right? Oh, only every time? Okay, it's a close game. Down by 4. Cowboys really not scoring a ton, and we're actually tied at 13. And we're going to take the lead before halftime, 20-13. Dallas ties things up, and it is deadlocked at 20 apiece. Cowboys pull ahead 27-20, and we are jumping in on offense. David Montgomery, a great receiving core. Sam Laporta. We might look to target Laporta, or just check down, because St. Brown's got a mismatch. He got speed after the catch, breaks a tackle. Huge hit, but a first down. Now, screens are going to work better in Madden 24, but they are still awful in Madden 23. I try them anyway sometimes. They're just not good. Oh, look at Jared Goff. Vanilla Vic. Flashback to Lions franchise. Goff takes off. I don't like the way. Goff and off. Jared Goff. I don't know. I want those to rhyme. 3rd and 3. We're going to run the ball, actually. We have Jahmyr Gibbs in the game. We're running at a superstar X Factor in Mozzie Smith. Or Mozzie. Williams needs to get set. How can we not snap the ball in 15 seconds? That's a pretty bad time to take a delay a game. Laporta, he just dropped it. Okay. Kind of have to go for it here. It's unfortunate. 4th and 8. Let's get St. Brown going over the middle. And I'm just going to throw it to him quickly and hope we get yards after catch. We don't. Not ideal. We just need a little bit of pass rush here. We're only rushing 3, which isn't great. That's got to be a pick. Emmanuel Mosley. Oh, my goodness. How lucky can you get? Very lucky, apparently. We needed that. 3rd and inches. Run up the middle. David Montgomery ties it up, pending an extra point. It'll be 27-27. And we just got to play some defense on the Cowboys. Man, we love going 3 down linemen here. I was going to pass commit, but it didn't seem like they were definitely going to pass. Here on 3rd and 8, they probably will, though. 1:12 left on the clock. I know it seems like the last one was definite passing situation, but look at their formation. Got a tight end in line, running back in the backfield, going from under center. It just doesn't seem super obvious. As Tracy Walker's there. Nice tackle. Timeout. We have a trump card. It's Jamison Williams. He's way faster than everybody. Lead him down the field. He can't get a step on Trayvon Diggs. Jesus. It's going to be a long field goal for the win. It's Will Lutz from the 40, nearly from the star. We've iced him. Here's the kick. He had 0 problem with it. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that's a tough way to lose. It's a tough pick. I felt like Jamison Williams gave us a really good chance to win down the field. We streaked him, and Jamison Williams has 98 speed. Trayvon Diggs has, let's see here, Uh, 94 speed, really? I don't know about that. But he's so good, you know, getting interceptions underneath. Tried to lead the ball down the field the way we did here. Trayvon Diggs gets another. Man, he's so good. Yeah, tough way to lose. And they ended up kicking a hugely long field goal to win. Again, it feels like they're a year ahead of us, and that is a tough way to go out. The Bills beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Dak wins another MVP. We did have the Rookie of the Year in Carlos Wright, though. But, man, I'm so sick of seeing the Cowboys win the Super Bowl every year. It sucks. I know they lost this one, but they're in it again. Carlos Wright is up to Superstar Dev, though, so that's pretty nice. Okay, Penei Sewell wants more money. We have more money. We're fine, so we're going to give him a big contract. He's going to test free agency. That is brutal. And we're going to franchise tag him for basically less than we would have paid him in his most expensive year. Tracy Walker's going to go. Probably. He's pretty cheap, though. Let's go ahead and bring Tracy Walker back. Jared Goff has to go. If we sign him back in free agency, whatever, but he's a 79 overall. It's like not that good. I kind of think it's a big thing holding us back right now. Marvin Jones going to go. Onwuzurike we don't need. Cam Sutton we don't need. Neither we need Mosley. So we have some holes on the team for sure. We need another corner. We need a quarterback, ideally. Sam Laporta is up to Superstar Dev, though. Okay. Only like an 80 overall. Defensively, Patrick Queen up to Superstar X Factor. I don't think the bowling ball, whatever that is going to be that good. Let's give him a, oh, I don't know. Relentless. He's not really going to get a ton of TFLs. But we'll do Relentless. We'll address the elephant in the room. I cannot start Hendon Hookie. I cannot do that. Hooker is not getting paid by me tonight. That is this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Aaron Rodgers is here. Terrorized the Lions. He wants to be with the Lions. CJ Stroud has made it in here. I'm unbelievably going to offer Aaron Rodgers a contract. That's something else. Charvarius Ward would be good for a year. He's a really good scheme fit for us. He wants to be in Detroit. I like that. I mean, that's what we need. We need a corner and we need a quarterback. And our defense and offense are about as complete as they can be for this year. We got both of them. Both of these nuts. Charvarius Ward, Aaron Rodgers. That's a super dead meme. Big time additions to our team. Aaron Rodgers back to the NFC North. Doing a little Brett Favre action. We don't pick until the third round here in the what would be the 2026 NFL draft, which is fine because we have made trades to, you know, try to be successful with the players in those drafts and develop them. Whereas with these guys, we'd have to wait a little bit longer. And I mean, there's not much here. Let's be real about it. I'm sure we could use another corner. Ben Mays actually doesn't look terrible. Wayne Graham doesn't look terrible. They're just man corners as opposed to being good in zone. We'll take the 6'3" Ben Mays. Pretty tall. Not superstar or star or superstar X Factor, though. Did we miss out on anybody really good in the draft? We didn't get anyone really good in the draft. Highest overall appears to be a 67 at first glance. Ooh, pretty awful. There was a 78 overall player. It was the highest in the class. Tight end went in the middle of, or actually end of the second round. H-back style. Very interesting. That's one of the weirder things I've probably seen in the draft. A couple of 77s in there as well. But we didn't miss much. Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really see it going in that direction. This is a pretty massive surprise to me that I assigned Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? He's better than Jared Goff. So there is that. Defensively, our defense is good, not great. Charvarius Ward's going to help out significantly, I would bet. So I'm just hoping for like 4 or 5 wins at the midseason mark. Due to the strength of the division, I think we're going to be able to just get into the playoffs with that type of a record, with that type of a start. Because we've made the playoffs with 8 wins at least once, maybe multiple times. I would take a training camp standout I just need a successful season here. Jahmyr Gibbs is hanging around an 80. Sam Laporta has been kind of the big surprise of how well he's developed. Superstar dev. He's not like a super high overall or anything. Brian Branch is an 85 overall. Quite nice. Malcolm Rodriguez, I wish, developed a little bit more. I don't know. Team looks pretty good. LRB is a really solid third corner. Plays on the outside with Branch in the slot when we have 3 corners and nickel packages. This is a good team. It's got to be good. That's what I'm talking about. 6-1. However, the Vikings are also 6-1. They're not going down without a fight. So I'm not going to say we've guaranteed the division. We've guaranteed a shot at the playoffs. But a 6-1 start, if we don't make the playoffs with that, I don't know what to say. But we're going to simulate to the playoffs. The team is in a really, really good spot. Really great shape. Let's win 12 or 13. Why not? And we won 13 games. I thought we missed the playoffs when I saw practice squad players signed it first. That would have been devastating. But no, first round bye. Aaron Rodgers put us over the top. I believe that, even if the numbers weren't too great. Well, he threw for a lot of yards. Rushing, David Montgomery, 23 touchdowns. 1,250 yards. Amazing. Amon-Ra St. Brown put together an amazing season. A lot of amazing going on. I'm amazed by this. 15 touchdowns. Jameson Williams, great year. Gabe Davis, also over 1,000 yards. And then defensively, 3 players with 100 tackles or more. Tackles for loss, 12 for Wright, who also posted 12.5 sacks. 12 for Angelo Haynes as well. 11 for Hutchinson, who had 11.5 sacks. 7 for Haynes. 5 for Campbell, even. This is a good year. This is finally the team that we thought we could have. They've grown into their potential. Number 8, defense. Number 12, offense. It's a little bit worse than our record is, to be honest. But you know what? First round bye, 90 overall team. I am not complaining. We get a Commanders rematch. They're too good. I'm going to jump in here in the divisional. A whole lot of action so far, but I'll take it as the Commanders are going to bring it real close. 17-7, we have the lead. 20-7 now. 28-7. This is what I like to see. Commanders are not going down without a fight, though. They are only down by a touchdown that's been extended to 2. They're still fighting. Just give up. Please give up. They're driving so quickly down the field. Bryce Young and Jackson Smith and Jigba. What is his team? Our offense it pales in comparison to what we're seeing from this fourth quarter team in the Commanders, and that's a touchdown. How? The ball just went right through my DB's hands, and Rayshon Colbert puts us on top. What a joke. That's open. Beautiful to St. Brown. Timeout. That could win us the game. Little lob. Outside Laporta. First down. Oh, it's too easy right now. High point. Williams. Oh, what a catch from Jameson Williams. We probably should have just run the ball and kicked a field goal. But you know what? We gave Jameson Williams a shot. The Commanders have no timeouts. Now, if you guys are avid Giants franchise fans, you've seen the Commanders come back in unbelievable ways against me. And I will do something more with that series before the next game comes out. Bryce Young, man, what a game. But Aaron Rodgers throws for 443 and 4 touchdowns. We're moving on to the conference championship. The 83 overall 10-7 Saints have made it to the conference championship. Let's shut it down. This game's over. I'm watching, well, maybe not actually, but I'm watching the Padres. I'm watching the Dodgers. I got a Dynasty Fantasy baseball team, and I look back, it's 21-0. So our offense is dominating. If you guys are interested in any baseball, check out the second channel, Bengal Plays. Link is in the description, as it always is. Aaron Rodgers throws for 447 and 7 touchdowns in the conference championship. Yeah, I think he's a bit of an upgrade over Jared Goff. Are you kidding me? Casey Ellerby with a bit of an upgrade. Now, I'm curious what this final team's going to look like, and we are about to see it because we've made it to the Super Bowl here in 2025. And you know what? It's well-deserved. It's well-deserved, especially after a blowout victory. I know, like, the Saints weren't that good, but whatever. But a huge win, and it's going to be Lions-Colts. Interesting. Aaron Rodgers is playing up to an 89. Amon-Ra St. Brown is at a 97. Big boosts right now. We're going to upgrade Ragnar before we get into the game. Carlos Wright's up to an 89, as is Aiden Hutchinson. Ali McNeil's developing nicely. Brian Branch is an 87 for playing up to it. Jack Campbell playing up to a 93. Gardner Johnson into the 90s. This is a really, really good team. And it's a team that's got to be able to beat the Colts. They're probably going to have Anthony Richardson, I would bet. I would definitely bet. But I think they're going to be run-focused with Jonathan Taylor. They have Isaiah Simmons, Shaq Leonard. Still got to get used to Shaq instead of Darius. But a bunch of superstar X-Factors. They're definitely a good team. But I think we can beat them. Not a bad start for us. We were up 14-0, but the Colts kind of made it a little bit closer, but then we've extended our lead at every opportunity. Although somehow it is a 10-point game. Colts are not going down that easy. They're keeping it at a 10-point game pretty much every single way that they can. But this game's going to be over. We've got a 37-24 lead. There's not enough time on the clock, and they're just going to check down for 4 yards. I don't know what they can do at this point. The game's over. But not that. Oh, he's going to get sacked. Aiden Hutchinson guarantees a Super Bowl win. His second sack of the game. And Aaron Rodgers wins the second Super Bowl of his career as a member of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, I really didn't see it going that way. But you know what? He had an incredible run, and he just did what Brett Favre did. Packers to Jets, back to the NFC North. Brett Favre, of course, went to the Minnesota Vikings, whereas Rodgers is now going to hoist the Lombardi as a member of the Lions. Yeah, pretty insane. He's number 16 as well. It looks gross. He's rocking it like a little baby, dude. Who knows what he's seeing? He's probably on some, like, ayahuasca trip. I don't know what's going on with him. But that is going to be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.